Last week, I attended the massive CES event in Las Vegas where new laptops were announced for 2024. So today, I'm going to share my thoughts on what I saw and what to expect if you're considering buying a laptop this year. Now, the drive up from Arizona to Las Vegas was absolutely stunning and a highlight of my trip. Anyway, on arriving at CES, it was clear that I'd entered the biggest COVID super spreader on the planet. But the shock of that quickly was negated by the enjoyment of seeing so many of my YouTuber friends. You see, there aren't a lot of us who review laptops professionally, so it's always nice to catch up. In fact, I was planning to do a second CES video on what laptops laptop reviewers brought with them. But after the first 3 people said a MacBook Pro 14, I ended up abandoning the project.
I don't want HP to hear, but I bought the MacBook Pro M3 Max 14-inch.
I brought my MacBook Pro, the M1 version. It's still working fine, no need to upgrade, working great, very happy with it.
Gotcha, 14 or 16?
14, I like the small ones.
Anyway, I managed to spend time with almost every major laptop manufacturer, and here's the situation. Overall, most laptops I saw had minor refreshes. This is predominantly because they are using Intel processors. Intel really hasn't brought all that much to the table. For large, high-powered laptops, the new Intel 14th Gen range is a very minor performance bump at the expense of drawing more power versus Intel's prior 13th Gen. For smaller and mid-sized laptops, Intel's new Meteor Lake technology, known as Core Ultra, doesn't solve the #1 issue with Intel laptops. They aren't power efficient. So unless manufacturers make substantial changes to the laptop's cooling or the amount of power fed to them, they will continue to feel very warm to the touch, have annoying fan noise, and short battery life. Yes, the integrated graphics performance in these new laptops is much better, and that is great. But most people who require graphics performance will be buying a laptop with a dedicated GPU anyway. And Intel's new Neural AI cores will certainly help with heat and fan noise as they accelerate some AI tasks. But these will really only be utilized in certain use cases, like blurring backgrounds on a Zoom call. And the situation with AMD, it isn't really any better. Plus, Nvidia, they didn't update their graphics for laptops at all this year. So, this means that many manufacturers didn't have all that much to show, and they relied instead on buzzwords like AI to try to provide a reason to buy their laptops. As another YouTuber said to me, if a manufacturer is pitching AI, it means that they really don't have anything material to show you. Gigabyte, for example, they didn't really have anything worthy of getting hyped about. Acer had a redesigned Swift Go, which is good, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting in. I feel there is a gap in the market for a low-priced but powerful 14-inch laptop, and the prior Swift Go, which we did get in, but it just wasn't all that good, so I hope this one is much better. Even Lenovo also didn't have all that much to show. There was a Glacier White version of the Legion 7i, which looks very nice, but it isn't really something to drive 5 hours to see. Plus, from my initial feel of it, it seems heavier than the Slim 7, which I'm told it's replacing. I don't know why they're doing that, by the way, because the Slim 7 was super popular. So, for most of these laptops, we're really going to have to get them in to see if all their subtle differences add up to improving the device enough to warrant recommending it over its 2023 variant. Funnily enough, one of the things I was actually most excited about is the move to Wi-Fi 7, as it's the first massive improvement to Wi-Fi that we've had in many years, so that I can't wait to test. That being said, I was pleasantly surprised by the number of redesigned and even completely new laptops that we saw this year. And with that said, here are my favorites. Number 5, the Asus Duo for 2024. This is a completely reimagined version of the Asus Duo laptops of old. I never really liked these as I hated their ergonomics. The keyboards on them were pushed forward to make room for the second screen. But this new version is a completely different beast. The laptop appears like a regular one, but you can remove the keyboard and there is a second, full-size touchscreen underneath. You can then position the laptop in a variety of different ways, vertically, like a book, that sort of thing. This gives you a ton of screen real estate, which will help you be more productive. Plus, by having the keyboard separate from the laptop's chassis, you won't feel any uncomfortable warmth like you do on many other traditional laptops. My only concern here is that this device itself, with the keyboard removed, is insanely thin, and that second screen takes up a lot of space where the cooling and battery would have been. So, my guess is that this device will really only be suitable for basic tasks like content consumption or working on Office documents, and I would be surprised if the battery life was very long, given that it has 2 bright displays to power. Number 4, the Asus G14 and G16 for 2024. The G14 is one of the most popular high-powered 14-inch laptops of all time. To be honest, it really invented the category. And this year, it and its larger G16 sibling have been completely redesigned. Boy, do these laptops look nice. Seriously, folks, these are some of the nicest looking laptops I've ever seen. They have this very contemporary design language, similar to a Razer Blade. Lots of straight edges, squared off trackpad and keys. I'd actually say that they look nicer than the Blade 14, and they appear even thinner. That being said, in my opinion, the lid of these laptops, it just doesn't look all that great. I would have preferred a more minimalist design to match the rest of the device. It just looks so much better when the lid is open, which I guess is fine, as that's what you, the owner, will be looking at. I also like the placement of the ports. They aren't as far down the laptop as the older models. Plugging in devices on those models, it used to get in your way. Anyway, my main concern with these laptops is the heat you'll feel when using one. This was the #1 issue for me with the G14s of prior years. They just got so warm to the touch. Well, these new models, as I said, are thinner, so airflow and cooling is again likely to be more constrained. Number 3, the Dell XPS 14 and 16. Alright, here's the skinny. Dell have taken their design language and choices from the XPS 13 Plus and brought it across to their larger screen XPS laptops, with some smaller enhancements like better speakers, which I will cover in my full review. What this means is that we now have absolutely stunning looking XPS 14 and 16 laptops, replacing the older 15 and 17. Seriously, these are the best looking laptops in the world, period. But with these laptops' increase in beauty comes a massive decrease in functionality. These new laptops no longer have user upgradable memory. Their function keys have been replaced with a touch-sensitive function row, and they no longer have full-size SD card readers but have mini ones. These are pretty big sacrifices for many people who want to be as productive as they can on their laptop. Plus, XPSs have historically struggled to cool powerful components inside, resulting in very warm temperatures you feel. In fact, they previously had to significantly throttle their components by feeding their higher-end RTX 4000 graphics less power than other laptops would have. Well, once again, we've got powerful components, but this time inside an even smaller chassis. So, this worries me, and I'll have to test these myself to see how they do. Overall, Dell have clearly made a statement with these new XPS laptops that they are no longer trying to be the best premium Windows laptop for most people, like the XPS brand was previously known for. Instead, they are trying to be the best looking laptop with as good a functionality as the design will allow. I predict most of my viewers, including me, are gonna find these laptops stunning to look at, but frustrating to use. That being said, I know there is another, albeit smaller camp of viewers who will want the most stunning laptop available and are prepared to make sacrifices to get it. If that's you, then these are the laptops to have your eye on. Number 2, the MSI Cyborg 14. MSI came out firing this year. They had more redesigned laptops than any other manufacturer. I was super impressed. Several look exciting, but I think the one that I'm most excited about is the new Cyborg 14. This laptop is the exact opposite of the other 14-inch laptops that I just mentioned, which is a good thing. It's aimed at a budget audience starting at $1,199 for a model with an RTX 4060 and a 1920 by 1200 resolution display. Knowing that MSI laptops frequently go on sale, I would imagine that you'll be able to pick one up for under $1,000. This will be an incredible deal for such a powerful and portable laptop. And what I'm also excited about is that this laptop isn't going for that super thin form factor. So I'm very eager to see if it has the appropriate cooling for the parts inside. And it also has an Ethernet port, which is rare in such a small laptop. Plus, it just looks really cool. Its chassis has this similar see-through material that we've seen Asus use on their SCAR gaming laptops. My main concern with this laptop is it still uses MSI's silly keyboard layout, where the page up and down keys are squashed right up against the left and right key. This always causes me to mispress keys. Number 1, the HP Omen Transcend 14. The Omen Transcend 14 is definitely the laptop that I'm most excited to get in. It looks stunning. The materials used, the color, the size, and there is this new backlight technique that they are using for their keyboard's keys. It basically makes the whole key glow, not just the character on the key itself. It comes with up to an RTX 4070 but a low wattage one to match the cooling solution of the laptop. And because it's low wattage, the whole laptop is charged with USB-C. This is super convenient as the new GAN-type USB chargers are insanely small and light. No heavy power brick here required to operate this laptop at its full performance. This is similar to what Dell have been doing with their XPS lines, by the way. The main thing I'm concerned about with this laptop is the same as what I said with the G14 and the XPS 14. Can it be kept comfortably cool to the touch while under use? It's a very thin laptop for the high performance parts inside. Anyway, I wasn't the only laptop reviewer who thought the Omen Transcend 14 was the best laptop of CES.
I think I'll probably go with the HP Omen 14, just because before now they're...
Transcend 14.
The Omen Transcend 14. Just because there weren't really any mid-range 14-inch options. It was all, high-end premium. And I guess also MSI have the Cyborg 14, so yeah, it's cool to see these lower-end to mid-range 14-inch options for people that don't want bigger machines.
I just want to wrap with a couple of thoughts. As you can see, most of these redesigned and new laptops are focused on looking sexier by being slimmer and lighter, yet they are still trying to deliver a ton of power, particularly in the 14-inch form factor. Last year, my team and I focused almost exclusively on reviewing 14-inch laptops. The one thing that time and time again these laptops would fail on was heat and fan noise, particularly from those with dedicated graphics. They just couldn't be cooled in such a small chassis. Since, as I said earlier, we haven't had any notable improvements to the power efficiency from the processors inside, be cautious with the hype surrounding these devices. I am concerned that most manufacturers are designing these laptops so that they look good to be sold and not so that they are actually comfortable to use. I recommend waiting for real reviews from people who've actually spent time using them before buying. That's unless you're buying from somewhere that you can return the laptop if you don't like it. Now, if there is going to be a major change to these issues, it really has to come with a more significant change to the processor itself, like what Apple did when they brought in their M series of ARM processors. And the product that most people whispering in the corridors of CES believe has the biggest chance of doing that is Qualcomm's new Snapdragon X Elite processor for laptops. Unfortunately, there wasn't any formal news on this laptop processor, but get subscribed to the channel as we'll have some news for you later this year. Well, with that said, I do want to conclude by just mentioning one more brand. While many of these laptop manufacturers were chasing form at the expense of potentially impacting usability, one manufacturer stood out in their approach, and that is Framework. I was so glad to finally meet Nirav, the CEO, in person, who was humbly standing at his booth. Framework is just doing everything different. They are focused on making their laptops as functional and upgradable as possible. Have they produced the perfect laptop so far? No, but they are doing a lot right and they deserve our attention. And I'm super excited to tell you all about the new Framework 16 when their embargo lifts. Look, overall, I am cautiously optimistic. I'm hopeful that these new and redesigned laptops are great and better than I expect. Same goes for laptops with minor improvements. That being said, for many buyers, due to the lack of innovation from Intel and even AMD in 2024, this may just be the year to consider saving some money and buying a laptop from last year instead. To help you out, I've created a special list on our website of laptops that we recommend that are still on sale from 2023, so go check that out, link down below. If you like this video and want me to attend more tech conferences, let me know with a comment below. In fact, this is the first time I've done such a video, so how did I do? Was this actually helpful? Make sure to smash the like button and get subscribed. Not only does it help us grow this channel, which means that we can create more videos for you, but it also makes my dearest mother very proud. Till next time, go do something awesome with your day, and I will catch you later.